caused Star Wars fandom to plunge into civil war. We're now in a time where journalism no longer means what it used to. All integrity is lost. What the fuck is going on? Disney defenders wrote a whole thing to YouTubers trying to get them deplatformed from YouTube because they didn't like the Acolyte. They coordinated.
Oh, I'm muted. Hold up. Thank you. Hold on. I was trying to record a video. Can you hear me now? Are we working now? Let's see. I think we should be working. Which one's my Gatorade? I got like so many Gatorade bottles. Yeah, all right. Okay. So, yeah, I don't really know what this stream is. I'm just behind on video game news and I like to watch YouTube, so I figure I'd watch it with y'all. Now I wanted to, I think this video right here from Asman is going to be very fitting. I haven't watched this. Whew, it's an hour and 20 minutes long. We're going to sit through this because I have personally been affected by this. A lot of the stuff that's going on with YouTube, with people trying to demonetize content creators, I personally talked to Theory. Like, I wouldn't say we're friends. Like, he's way too big for me. But like, he's kind enough to listen. He's been somebody that I could rant about the stuff I've been going through. And it looks like after the stuff on TikTok against me worked, they tried it on YouTube. But it looks like YouTube actually stood up to him. So yeah, let's give this a watch and see what. Like, I'm surprised Asman wasn't aware of what's going on.
Star Wars fandom to plunge.
I'm gonna put this on big screen. Just a friendly reminder. I'm over on YouTube.
Journalism no longer means
horizontal too.
All integrity is lost. What the fuck is going on?
It's bad, Asman. Yes, Theory. Yes, let it run through you. I feel bad for Theory. He's been taking the brunt of this.
To YouTubers trying to get them deplatformed from YouTube because they didn't like the Acolyte. They coordinated a campaign against them.
And remember, this worked on TikTok.
Annoying fucking thing.
Like, before we get started, remember, this whole time, this worked on TikTok. It worked to me. I have it documented on my LinkedIn profile, PJ Oxenon, and like, I'm a little autistic, and if you make me mad, I kind of don't forget it. So I've just been dedicating like 2 hours of my day just to shit on TikTok on LinkedIn. The head of LinkedIn has blocked me and they put another shadow ban on my account. I got the analytics from YouTube, Meta, and everything. You can see I expose how they hide videos and like basically what I think has happened. I don't know. I can't get anybody at TikTok to talk to me. But I had these same people, right? This Molly Damon, all of these people are on TikTok. Like Molly Damon and a couple other of them would copy my videos like 30 minutes after I posted it and just like run it out to 9 minutes. And like, they're part of the clique that don't like me on TikTok. So like, I'm pretty sure TikTok was just a trial for all of this.
That I see happen nowadays with like media is that any time that a person criticizes another person, that other person will get harassed.
Yes.
If I criticize somebody's actions, they will get harassed. It will happen, guaranteed. I promise you it will happen. And if somebody criticizes...
I want to make this good for horizontal, too.
Because of that criticism. To say that you can't criticize people because then they get harassed is to say that you cannot critically evaluate any person at all, which is ridiculous. It's very obvious when you're talking about a...
And the worst part about the stuff they're doing, right, is it's not even like people who are criticizing and just like the hate people or anything. It's anybody that legitimately has criticized the Acolyte, right? And what I think has happened is instead of Disney actually realizing where they messed up by making something that the Star Wars community wouldn't enjoy, instead of like accepting the blame, it's like they're using the people they pay to try to silence anybody who said anything about the Acolyte that was negative, right? And that's where all of this is stemming from. There's people that like the Acolyte, and if you like the Acolyte, that's perfectly fine to me. I don't care. Like, personally, I didn't like the Acolyte, but I didn't even slam the Acolyte, right? All I did was looked at the numbers, because I made videos before the Acolyte even came out that the future of Star Wars television pretty much hung on Star Wars or the Acolyte. And people think I don't want Star Wars. That is a complete lie. I want as much Star Wars as we can get, but to happen, it has to be a successful business. So I was looking at this like a business objective. They were telling people, hey, we have all of these people watching. It's the biggest show since Andor or Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know what they were trying to lie and say, but I looked into the actual numbers and I quickly realized they were lying. And just that alone, right? Talking about the fact that they were lying, they were using Screen Rant and all of these articles to push the false narrative is what got me on these people's radar. And what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to silence us before the Skeleton Crew comes out, because Kathleen Kennedy just had a $180 million error. Star Wars is in the worst shape it's been in years. And instead of just trying to fix the answer, they're trying to put the blame on content creators, saying we told people not to watch the show. So if you think about it by that logic, they think if they can silence us, there'll be no one to tell anybody not to watch the show. But what they don't realize is the show was bad, right?
Person who is enabling and encouraging legitimate harassment versus somebody who is...
Yes, Pax, this is the first time I'm watching this. Sorry, it might take me a while. Most people don't care, but like I said, this is highly affecting me.
About people, and they've been harassed because of the video that I made. I'm not sorry for a single fucking one of them, and I would do it again, and I will. Because I'm not making the videos for those people to get harassed. I'm criticizing them because I think they're doing something wrong, or I disagree with what they're saying.
Yes.
And if they make a video and they make a tweet, like for example, do you remember that guy that made the tweet about how I had reacted to his video and he didn't like it and then I DM'd him, I took down the video? Well, when I did that, a lot of people harassed me over that tweet. Is that his fault? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Because he didn't tell people to harass me?
No.
He didn't push for that? He didn't do anything. It's not his fault at all. So,
and see, that's the difference, right? Star Wars Theory, people like me have always said, look, if we don't agree with something, that doesn't give the right to go out and attack anybody. Because to me, at the end of the day, if you like Star Wars, whether we don't like the same Star Wars or not, it's the same universe. I don't have to like the same thing you do. Some of these shows I'm not going to like, but I shouldn't be attacked for just voicing criticism.
And I'm not mad at him. That's his opinion. Monster Hunter Blindfold. Yeah, exactly. That girl got harassed because I criticized her. That's the way it goes. Creators are not responsible for their audience. You are never responsible for the actions of another person. Like, unless you're paying them,
Preach.
telling them to do it,
Preach.
you're not responsible for what they're doing. It's on a spectrum. Yeah, but on the internet, it's pretty much binary. It seems all the mass death threats...
Now, I've seen Theory's video of this.
Where he advocates for in the Forbes article. Where is he advocating for this? They ask us to denounce this, to blame us, to control millions of people, yet they're silent when it happens to us. Creators are absolutely responsible if failed threats are made or downright telling them to do things. Your audience does it without any incitement. That's on them. Exactly. Well,
but hold up. I don't know if Asmon's understanding this. Maybe he catches on later in the video, but like, this isn't like, these people aren't just saying to disagree with people like Star Wars Theory who doesn't agree with them. They are saying that they need to be deplatformed and demonetized because they don't agree with them. And that's a big difference. Like, what Asmon's right when he talks about, yeah, I can't control my audience. If y'all were to go to attack somebody, there's nothing I can do about that besides tell y'all I think everybody on Earth is equal. I don't care what anybody does as long as it doesn't affect me, right? Like, that's my view on life. So I'm allowed my opinion, and I can't control the actions of y'all, just the message I make. But the difference between what these people are doing is they're purposely organizing to deplatform creators. That's the difference. That should be wrong. Like, they should be deplatformed for doing that.
yeah, I mean, of course, if you're...
I mean, that should be against the terms of service for these platforms. If you're caught orchestrating a campaign around a false narrative just because you don't agree with someone's opinions, that should be termed for removal from wherever you're at, in my opinion.
Inciting people and telling people to do something.
Okay, yeah, he's probably, like I said, I don't think he's been paying attention.
But when you're just criticizing a person
to what's going on,
wrong, then you're not at fault when that person gets harassed. I think this is just like every normal person knows this, right? Like, it was a nuance that I didn't think that we'd have to get into because most people here are adults, but yes, that's clearly the obvious difference.
But sadly, that's where we are right now. You have to explain stuff like this.
Lie, defame me. Should be sent to my legal team. Video exposes lies. Okay. What's this? Maybe some days bullies will take accountability for the harassment. The only thing that was wrong that I think that anybody did is asking for people like Star Wars Theory to be deplatformed, right? Critical drinker, excuse me, Nerdrotic, like Star Wars Theory, you know, the axis of evil, you know, for like the acolyte enjoyers. These people should have never, they should not be deplatformed. They have every right to have whatever opinion.
The axis of evil of acolyte enjoyers.
This is even a topic.
I saw someone say, is this your Sith era theory? And I'm like,
yeah.
When did it become okay to constantly berate someone for years, and then if you answer back, that's your Sith era? No, that's just standing up for yourself or replying. That's literally all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry.
If you're provoked, I think it's
like, Lone, I'm not as big as these guys, but trust me, like, I'm like, they've done this same thing on TikTok. It's the reason I'm over on YouTube right now. Like, later on, remind me, and I can go into my statistics and show you where I've been demonetized, how much I've made on TikTok versus how much I made on YouTube. I can show you DMs from the head of TikTok Gaming, me asking them for help because I needed the money and I just got laid off and she blocked me. Like, I'll make everything public. Like, I can 100% confirm that this is going on. I've been going off about it for weeks on LinkedIn, and I'm going to keep going off about it because I don't think it's a problem at TikTok. I think it's a person at TikTok that is abusing their power and fucking with me.
fair game to be able to say your piece back. So anyways, that's what I did in the recent video. Essentially just talking about Clone Wars returning in live action, which I think would be pretty dope. But of course,
yeah, what's the problem?
This guy, the Forbes guy, Paul Tassi, goes ahead and makes another tweet.
Can I turn up the video? Yeah, hold up. Anything you guys need me to do, let me know. I'm new to this, so don't be afraid to be like, hey man, you are completely, we can't hear you. You know what I mean? Turn it up to 77%. All right. I'm just here to hang out right now. That's it. Maybe make a video from ranting about this. All right.
Use incognito mode for
I'll be right back.
to check on channels that make videos about me that I do not want in my algorithm. Well, thanks.
Is this problematic? What's wrong with that? He doesn't like you. Obviously, he doesn't like you.
For the view, man, and his comments are just, well, they speak for themselves. Anyway,
it's admittedly funny. What does this say again? Less people funny putting whiny aggressive comments on family photos on my Instagram every time this happens. Yeah, this is stupid. Like, obviously, if somebody makes it, like, if you post a public article, you have to accept that people are going to criticize and talk about that article. That's just what's going to happen. Unless he's telling people to harass you, and if he
which he never once does,
YouTube and get him banned. It's that simple, right? No shot. Yeah, it's that simple. Can't handle it, leave. Well, the thing is that
can't handle it, leave.
Because I think that Star Wars theory is being kind of melodramatic about this, but I also think that Paul Tassi is being unreasonable as well by saying that he's.
I have left. I will not be going back to Disney or covering any of Disney's properties until it has publicly been acknowledged that they do not support what's going on, and there's changes at Disney's leadership.
Being harassed, and he's trying to connect like negative comments on like family photos on his Instagram, like as if Star Wars theory supports this, right? And that's the issue. It's the implication that in any universe he supports this.
Anyways, that video.
Hey Nick, I recently changed my diet. No more. Yeah, I'm not a gay man, but whatever you want to do, brother, good for you. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself.
Was an opener to the real video, which
I need to get back in the gym.
All familiar with him. So this is, I would say, part of the problem. I would say essentially this is kind of where all of this rhetoric leads to when it comes to trying to deplatform people, which is
where's
Yeah, Lone, I don't think that's what people understand right now. Like, these journalists are done, right? It's like people don't understand what's really happened over the last couple years, right? Like, Twitter blew up. Twitter was the #1 platform. Everybody thought it was going to overtake Facebook, and everybody paid attention to what was going on to Twitter, and like the media bought into it and everything. But that was like the techie side of people, right? You still had like parents and everybody weren't on Twitter. So you were getting like a very select, narrow viewpoint of what people thought. And they all thought that's what everybody wanted, right? So they put these people in and they kept buying the agenda and everything. And they kept pushing for what the stuff they wanted. But eventually, like, the money doesn't match. Like, they're now losing so much money that they know. They know that the reviewers are full of crap. Everybody knows they can't trust the reviewers. So the reviewers are doing the only option they have left because their livelihoods are threatened right now, right? No one trusts what they say, so they have to attack other people. And it's funny, I'm just sitting here eating my popcorn, watching them give stuff like Space Marine a 60, and then Concord like a 70 or whatever it was. And that game shut down within 2 weeks and was like a $400 million failure. Like, I don't have to do anything. Like, I don't have to sit there and fight Star Wars and try to change everything because I'm not preaching anything that is crazy, right? I want common sense and decency. I don't care what people do as long as it doesn't affect me. And I don't want my media, every bit of media I consume, to try to push a message. I go to places like Star Wars to escape that mess. And they have brought it in and they try to politicize, push an agenda or something in every product. Nobody said anything about the Acolyte being gay until Leslie Headland went out there and did an interview and she called it the gayest Star Wars ever. And then if you said anything about that quote, you were homophobic, right? They started the conversation. So they're done. Like, they're done. It's their screaming death wells. There's nobody that trusts reviews anymore. Like, you look at PC Gamer, all of these review sites, you can tell when it happens, right? Like, Gamer Rant was good for a while when Gamer Rant separated from Screen Rant. That was my go-to source for gaming news. But as soon as it got put back under the same umbrella company of Screen Rant, it has become shit. And you know it happens because it goes from being a freaking app you can surf on your phone to just being plugged with ads. And as soon as that happens, it's compromised and it's downhill from there. If you guys have any good suggestions on where to go for gaming news, like, I'm kind of on Games Radar, but I don't know where to go now. But I'm telling you, right now, the studio has already learned. All of these layoffs we're seeing in the gaming industry are them trimming the fat. The people that run these studios aren't stupid. They got fooled, but they don't play with their money, right? And they losing way too much of it, and they trimming down the fat, and it's about to get back to the basics.
Scumbag move anyways. Weak move from Molly and Alex.
True, but let's see it.
Part of that. But this kind of journalism is really what is setting the narrative for the weak-minded people who just kind of follow the sheep. And I believe that it's just not helpful. I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in this kind of journalism, which we're going to get into.
You cannot explain to me, Lone Courier, where the budget for the Acolyte went, right? I can make 3D printed props that look better than anything they had in that TV show, right? I could make a Star Wars TV show with a $10 million budget, and it might not be the best watched TV show, but I guarantee you it will make more than $10 million.
Right here.
I think that he's right about that there is a lot of gatekeeping of things like this that happen, where like people think that you're not allowed to have certain opinions about like shows. Like you saw that with The Witcher, you saw that with the Star Wars Acolyte. It's very common.
Just needs to stop, I think. I think we need to have better writers or people who have maybe more of an open mind or aren't so set to just one sect of a certain fandom, and are able to see things from maybe a little bit more of a logical and reasonable perspective.
2 videos of context you're missing? What am I missing? They contacted YouTube to deplatform me? Okay. Star Wars Explained tries to demonetize Star Wars.
Oh, so he hasn't seen... okay.
And I know Alex is behind all this, but he's just such a sackless guy that he just... I see that they've lumped me in with some of my colleagues and friends online to have our channels demonetized and essentially sending a letter to YouTube to abolish, destroy, end. It took me almost 2 years to get there. Really the best tip
I really like, yeah, getting people demonetized is bad, and YouTube said they're not going to do it, and that's a good thing. But what does this have
TikTok
to do with
didn't.
Paul Tassi?
No, don't worry.
I'm not seeing him tweet about this at all. He's not talking about this anywhere. So he came in later. Well, then where is it? Because like if you're getting mad at one guy because you're getting harassed by this group of people, I don't see it. He does? Well, where is it?
Go next video.
Video you watched? Okay. Let's take a look at it.
They have a certain outlook of something. So on September 9th, Paul Tassi released an article called "The Acolyte Has Caused Star Wars Fandom to Plunge into Civil War," which, yeah, I think that's kind of accurate in a sense. However, he goes on to mention me and several other YouTubers as well, and he really writes in his article that I and many others should be deplatformed and demonetized.
Where? The saga of Acolyte is well known at this point. The show is little watched, but developed a core base of fans who really liked it. From its representation to its villain, the YouTubers in question devoted dozens, if not hundreds, of videos to tearing down the show and everyone associated with it every week, which has led not to just to pushback from Acolyte fans, but stars like Amanda Steinberg. Then the show was canceled. So you can't criticize the show?
No.
Wait, what?
And he really writes...
Yes, brother. Yes, brother.
Now we enter the current phase, which went members of the Star Wars community in support of shows like The Acolyte and its actors banded together to create a movement to try to get a number of specific Star Wars channels demonetized, with examples...
They successfully demonetized me on TikTok.
...in their videos, which should be against YouTube terms of service. That's what happened.
And it is against TikTok's terms of service. Everything they're doing to me on that platform. So just remember, YouTube came out against it. TikTok didn't. That's my beef with TikTok. Not only was I not able to get answers about what's going on, I was blocked by the head. Hold on. Let's just... Hold up. Am I logged in? Yeah. All right. Yeah, here it is. Okay, this was the head of TikTok before I was sent, or before I was banned. She blocked me. Right? Shit. How do I do this so you guys can read it? All right, here you go. Hey, got laid off a while back and I love TikTok creator program, blah, blah, blah. Had a video blow up. I think my account got flagged. I lost about $3,000, $4,000. I can't get a response. I'm in your gaming program. Here's a video. Nothing. Sorry, was a little bit aggravated, blah, blah, blah. A couple of months ago, I was doing Star Wars. Talk about the Star Wars stuff. Talk about the drama I got in there. Nothing. Gave video evidence of the bans on my account that I got on TikTok where they're going through flagging my videos. That's every time I live stream. This is where I got demonetized and my appeal was fixed. Here's the drop in my viewers. I got 5 million views from July 3rd to August 31st. But another 5. I think I got paid like 43 cents. Right? And then more of the, what's it called? Here's all my videos that got disqualified. All these had a couple million views. I had switched. I tried to get away from the Star Wars stuff and start talking about other shows, but they're so toxic. They keep coming after me. And then before I was like, look, if you guys ain't going to answer, I'm going to have to start posting about this. Then she blocked me. I was like, hey, these posts are starting to get attention. I'm going to post this one. And she didn't. But yeah, you can go in here. I don't care. This is me. You can see where I worked, what I've done. All my esports connections. I probably shouldn't show DMs. I don't think there's anything in there that can get me in trouble. But yeah, I break it all down. How do you see your post? Oh yeah, this is a video I made showing what happens when I go live. Do I got sound?
Look, I had a video, it stopped getting traction. There's no guideline strikes on it, or
this is how their suppression system works.
TikTok limits free speech. This is their shadow banning system. So if you look, I had a video, it stopped getting traction. There's no guideline strikes on it or nothing. However, if I go to delete this video, right, there's the analytics. I go and delete the video, right? Here we go. We're going to delete it. And you go back to your timeline, and then all of the sudden, you will see the hidden community guidelines violation. And now, when you go to check to see what your actual violation was for the video, you'll see 2 things. 1, you're not given a violation, and then 2, there is no button to appeal this, right? So there's no way to just say this was wrong. And well, since you can't appeal, you think maybe I'll just remove it and that will get rid of the problem. But no, even if you delete the video, you still get that strike. And here is an email of me mailing their creator program, letting them know about this issue. To which, no, they did not deny. They thanked me for bringing it to their attention and fixed my account. And for those of you that still don't believe this happens, here is 2 more examples, because once your account gets flagged like this, there is no way to get rid of it unless somebody removes it or like some type of time they put on it expires. And to prove that the video just isn't a good video, here it is on YouTube with over 8,000 views in less than 24 hours and climbing, and then over on Meta, it's already broke 100,000 and it's just still going. So the problem isn't with the video, the problem is with TikTok.
Yeah, so that's how their shadow stuff works. Yeah, so just so you know, like I'm not making stuff up.
Platformed and demonetized because of our rhetoric, because of our point of view of Star Wars in general. So, anyways, let's go ahead and check this out and read this, because I want to bring light to this. I don't think this is acceptable behavior. I don't think, for a publication such as Forbes, I don't think this is respectful. I don't think it's insightful, and I think it's malicious. You think the drama of the accolade is over? Think again. As now what has been arguments about content of the show has progressed into a full-on civil war in the Star Wars fandom community. The 2 parties are fans that appreciate shows like The Acolyte and did not appreciate what seemed to be a coordinated, relentless assault on the show and its actors, YouTubers, and their subscribers.
Okay.
Yeah, Cajun, that's why I'm not, I will not be covering anything Disney related until there's a change of leadership or like this is officially, like they come out and say that this stuff has to stop.
Okay. Where's the evidence that these are coming from YouTube, from the subscribers? Where's the evidence that all of these subscribers are sending attacks to the actors or the actresses or the writers? Where is that information? I need that intel. They are attempting to demonetize many of those accounts.
And remember, the head of gaming, like we were friends on LinkedIn before this, and she connected to me because how connected I am in esports and gaming.
Accounts which they believe are racist or encourage targeted harassment campaigns.
I don't think that Paul Tassie's in the wrong yet. He's simply writing an article describing the situation. He's basically saying this is happening.
Other side
You
says they
retarded?
simply...
No, I'm not retarded. I just look at what I read and I make a decision about it. He's putting spin on it? Yeah, a bit he's putting spin on it. You could say that, but there's nothing that's been said here that is inaccurate or blatantly misleading.
Hate the show for normal reasons. The saga of The Acolyte is well known at this point. The show was little watched, but developed core base fans who really liked it, ranging from its representation
Okay, let's move on.
in this, and I like this, since they liked it for that primary reason,
Yeah.
then of course everyone has to have liked it for that reason too, and if they didn't, then they're going against that representation, and therefore they're racist. So I would even argue that the people who are saying such things are only seeing the depth of this show, or only showing interest in the show because there is representation. I would argue that
there's still nothing wrong with this paragraph. He's saying that there are some people that like the show because it had a black lead actress. That's guaranteed true. There's still nothing wrong.
The people who are so
this is still
love with the show would love it just as much as if everybody was white. I guarantee you.
Love the show, I do not think they're not stupid
as much or nearly.
They're very smart, well-educated people.
Members were white, and to me, I say I don't care if
they're just hateful and spiteful people.
I don't care what color they are. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Black, gay, straight, trans. I don't. You do what you want, man. Just make a cool story, cool characters, and that's it. Well written, thoughtful. I couldn't care less about what they do outside of that. Split from the Skywalker saga, but several hundred years ago. The YouTubers in question devoted dozens, if not hundreds, of videos dedicated to tearing down the show and everyone associated with it each and every week, which led to not just pushback from Acolyte fans, but stars like Amanda Stenberg publicly talking about the racism she experienced. And look, like I've said this a million times.
Well, this is what happens with anything. Like, it's the same as if you spin on this article.
Like that's a very small minority.
I want to see to where he gets it.
No,
that's the way a lot of people do things, though. That's how a lot of people are racist.
And racists and bigots and
text threat, but the things I've been sitting the past few days are constantly disgusting. I have no respect for this part of the community or those that cultivate it, and excusable and pathetic. Yeah, I mean, like harassing somebody and sending them messages that are hostile. It's pretty simple, right? Like if you do that,
Acolyte is alt-right, racist, bigots. I mean, that to me is that's also extremely irresponsible, especially in her position. And she is representing Lucasfilm, and she is representing Leslie Headland and everybody else that she worked with. Nobody's saying a damn thing. If anything, they're saying, you go, girl. Same kind of light is a disgusting piece of shit who wants to wish me death in the most gruesome, horrible, weird, psycho ways. No, those are just a few bad apples that are psychotic.
Who cares?
Happens. That's the internet. That's life. That's people.
Yeah.
Then the show was canceled.
True.
Given that Disney is, well, Disney, the decision likely came down to mainly an absurdly high cost, which was very much Disney's fault, and low viewership. Though many, including it had nothing to do with the high cost. They'll pay for they'll pay up the nose for anything that they want as long.
Well, the show cost a lot of money because it didn't make a lot of money. Something that costs a lot of money, like for example, if you spend $100 and then you make $80, that costs $80.
Oh, I'm just browsing through it alone.
$100 and you make $20, well then you just lost $80. That's a lot of money. But if you spend $100 and you make
$100 million, it still wouldn't have
of subversion here, because he initially introduced what the conflict was as accusations of racism and harassment, and he used it specifically accusations of, oh, well, people claim this is happening. And now halfway through the article, the racism and harassment is now codified and it is established. So what that does to the reader is that it causes the reader to passively assume that that side that was alleging these things was in fact correct. It's persuasive writing that's hard to pick up on unless you can see it.
You have the reading comprehensions.
It starts as an allegation, it's introduced as an allegation, but then later on it's referred to as a fact. So it gets people to let their guard down as if they're reading an unbiased perspective of something, and then the perception changes because it's distorted. And the problem is that I'm sure Paul would say this is what happened, and he's right that that's what happened. But if you're not intentionally trying to separate.
But that is only a small fraction of the community that they only focus on. They blame everything on that is the problem.
The people who are racist or harassers from the people that just don't like the show, then I think that you are intentionally painting them in a bad light. And it's being done on purpose.
Enter the current phase, which went, members of the Star Wars community in support of shows like The Acolyte and its actors banded together to create a movement to try and get a number of specific Star Wars channels demonetized with
And you see how the racism, what they believe was racism. And you see how this messaging happens. This is a very big problem in, like, and so this is it's a core problem because Paul is a smart guy. I like Paul Tassi, but I think that he's obviously engaging in subversion here. He clearly is engaging in subversion. And
he's trying to get that.
The problem is that
he's trying to protect the mouse because he wants that green
in English enough to be able to pick up on this. You like him? Yeah. No, I've read enough.
Right. See, they invented a cycle, right? You have the studios, right, who want to get the approval of the reviewers, because before, when the system worked, the reviewers would basically determine how your sales worked, especially in the video game industry. Remember, the video game industry used to tie bonuses to Metacritic, right? So they want to get the reviewers to like their product, but the reviewers, right, they want to make sure that they don't make them mad because they want the free trips and everything like that, right? I know because I used to be part of the industry. Like, that's what they want. So they might not work together on purpose with the studios, but they definitely lean bias to doing whatever they're told and following the narrative.
Number of things that he's written that I've agreed with, and I think that he's had good takes on things before. This isn't one of them. I disagree with this. I don't hate the guy. No, I'm disagreeing with what he's saying in this article.
Of what they believe was racism and harassment in their videos, which should be against YouTube's terms of service. Well, clearly it wasn't, since YouTube said that this does not go against terms of service.
Yes,
However,
so
once YouTube
this was a huge gamer move that YouTube made, is that they basically, all of the internet Karens that were upset that they couldn't watch The Acolyte Season 2 got together and wrote like a letter to YouTube asking for these people to be demonetized, and then YouTube said, yeah, we looked it up and there's nothing wrong with it. Shut the fuck up and leave us alone. Which was an absolute W move by YouTube.
that's exactly what TikTok should have done. That's exactly what TikTok should have done, but TikTok didn't. And anybody on TikTok that disagreed with The Acolyte is done on TikTok.
The concept was met with an immediate reply 13 minutes later from YouTube that they reviewed the video in question and found that it was not in violation and no action would be taken. This was celebrated immediately by the targeted YouTubers in question.
Well, they should be.
Though further investigation reveals that it is a pretty generic YouTube auto message, which has been used hundreds of times before, and there's no evidence that YouTube took the quite elaborate movement seriously for more than a few minutes, or did anything.
Good. They shouldn't.
It shouldn't need addressed a special statement.
It's just a bunch of retards getting mad on Twitter that want to shut down other people that disagree with them.
Thing resembling investigation. So this also is incorrect. So what he does, what Paul Tassi does, is he looks at the reply which was sent a day after this was actually created.
Right.
So this was actually created and sent on September 4th, which took YouTube an entire day to check out the claims. And then
I didn't even realize that. I thought it did come the same day.
They said, "Thanks for reaching out. Just heard back and confirmed that this content is not violative and will remain up. We totally understand you may not agree with this decision, but we reviewed this video very carefully against our policies."
Yeah, huge YouTube W, by the way. Massive YouTube W.
Replied the day before this, and they said, "We're going to check it out. Could you please send a link of all of the videos in question?"
So they basically
they followed
the
up.
entire idea that it was done by a bot seems
a lot.
like it's not true. Yeah.
Or the channels in question. And Molly Damon...
Paul's saying that it was done by a bot to discredit it. He is. I don't know if it's to discredit it, to be fair, but I do think that's what's happening. Yes.
Molly went to YouTube's aid and made sure that she freaking tried to rat every single person out on that list. And I bet
these people, I want you guys to see that they are the internet Karens. These people are absolutely the internet Karens. They are the ones that are
And if anybody wants to know why I'm no longer making Star Wars videos, it's because they took that same list they made for TikTok, and TikTok did not stand up for us like YouTube did.
complaining to the manager. They're the ones that want their food sent back because it's too cold. They're the ones that are getting mad because the barista spelled their name wrong.
I was in that freaking link too.
They're Karens, they are.
Our livelihoods. And I sound like a broken record, but man, you don't understand. Imagine you work so freaking hard and someone just wants to take that away from you.
And look, it's not really about the money for me, right? Like, it was $6,000 roughly that I've been screwed at, and all potential future money from TikTok. It's a dead platform now. Even though I have 75,000 followers, like, but it's not about the money. Like, I don't care. I do this because I have fun, right? But that doesn't make it right. And at some point in time, we have to start like standing up for what you believe in, right? And I'm sorry, TikTok and me are pretty much done. I mean, I was in a rough spot when they took that money away. I just started switching over to doing content full time. And if I didn't get the 3D prop shop going, I would not be doing content. I'd be back to doing environmental cleanup or like hazard emergency response or something like that. And like doing videos when I can. Like, I'd still make videos. It's just y'all wouldn't get to hang out with me. Like, so that's what they took away from me. So, and it sucks because I've been a Star Wars fan for so long. I've praised all of their shows. I mean, I'm like the only person I know on the internet that likes the Book of Boba Fett. I'm wearing a Boba Fett t-shirt. I got a Boba Fett poster up there, and they've been in almost all my videos. I'm like the only person I know that likes that show. Was it a bad show? It was cheesy as hell, right? But like, that's what they were going for. They were going for a cheesy little Western stuff. I think Rodriguez or whatever it is probably shouldn't have been in charge of directing the whole show, but I think overall it was a good story for what they were going for. Like, people forget it was all supposed to be interconnected until the same people that are going after Star Wars theory, that are coming after me, got rid of Gina Carano. And they had to change the whole Mandalorian franchise. That's the reason Mandalorian Season 3 felt like shit. Pedro Pascal almost left. We ain't seen that man's face, and probably the only reason we're going to get to see that man's face if they do a movie is because they got to pay him movie money because he didn't want any part of that series. I don't care what anybody says. Those rumors are true. They were going to make the Bo-Katan stuff was going to be tied into the Gina Carano show, so it had that Mandalorian stuff, and then all of that was going to fall into Mandalorian Season 3. That's the reason Mandalorian Season 3 was rushed. It didn't feel right, and it's the reason everything has been scrapped, and they had to go back to the drawing board. So if you want to know whose fault it is that Star Wars is shit right now, it's literally these people, because they did it to Gina Carano. Now they're trying to get rid of us. And they want no one there. But the thing is, the studios aren't stupid. They realize that they ain't making money. But they ain't figured out the real reason. Once they accept the real reason, Kathleen Kennedy's gone, and they're going to have to clear shop and start over.
Because of wrong you think, because you don't agree with them on a freaking show. So,
well, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take a moral high ground to make YouTube feel like they are morally obligated to shut down competitors, because what they're going to do is now they're going to paint YouTube as enabling racism.
Right,
that's what they do.
Journalist, writer for Forbes, is writing misinformation. Trying to say that this is a automated response within a few minutes. Incorrect. It's a response a few minutes, one full day after having checked everything out. Hey, Team YouTube, Star Wars community would at least appreciate a formal... I love how they call themselves a Star Wars community. It's like, yeah, only you guys that like the Acolyte are the Star Wars community.
They're not Star Wars fans, they're Disney fans, and there is a clear definition at this point. And if you want to get it, and I got a social experiment for you. Make a video talking trash about the Acolyte, and then just only use the hashtag Star Wars and Acolyte. Then make another video talking trash about the Acolyte and tag Disney fans. And let me know how your comments turn out.
Everybody else who's been supporting it and literally got it to the point where it's worth $4 billion for George to
not
sell,
the community.
They're just a bunch of losers.
They're the toxic
grifters, racists. They don't actually give a shit about Star Wars. Come on.
It's the same extortion scheme used by game journalists for Black Myth Wukong. Yeah. I hope that a lot of people, like, now that we've gone through a lot of these topics so far, a lot of people are starting to realize and pick up on these patterns and these techniques that journalistic outlets use in order to maintain a hegemony over information. It's been very problematic, and like I noticed it a lot. Like I have kind of like a personal vendetta against this because I remember noticing it whenever I was a teenager, like after 9/11, and I was like, wow, this really seems like super biased. Wait a minute.
Does anyone know if Asmon's on the spectrum? Because I'm on the spectrum, and all it is like we just connect the dots before everybody else.
Like, he didn't say that. Like, why are they writing about this? And, like, I saw it happen with Obama. I saw it happen with...
ain't no way he's one of y'all normies.
Ron Paul. It happened with Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump. It's happened with a lot of people that have been outsiders or that have not had the right opinion. It even happened a little bit with John Kerry in 2004. I was only 14 then, so, like, I don't remember have, like, very good memory of it. But I do remember how the way that it was represented was clearly asymmetrical. And I've always really disliked this. And the reason why I dislike it is that it is, well, it's lying, number one, but it's also, I think the reason why I dislike it is because it works.
That's honest, a sad thing.
That's why.
It's just aggravating.
This strategy works.
Like, it's aggravating, right? Because all you have to do is like do the research yourself, right? That's it. That's all you have to do. Take the time to do the research yourself, and if you like just absorb the information yourself and think it through, it's very logical to get to work out how things are going to end up. And like it's just aggravating that like I was seeing all this 3 years ago and starting to ring alarm bells, and it's just now people are catching on. It just, I don't know.
And the reason why it works is because people are not...
Brother, like, I am not, like, on, like, registered or anything, because from what I was told, it's, like, hard and costs a lot, and I don't have a lot of money. But, like, apparently there's a lot of us. Like, I was born in 84. They didn't know what any of that stuff was. They call us like forgotten children or something like that.
They're not like, I don't know, like they can't read, basically. Like I could say something that's more sophisticated, but... It
was rough. I went through like, I didn't find out until like a couple of years ago. I just thought everybody else was stupid.
Let's be real. They can't fucking read and they don't see what's happening. So
and me and my wife talk about this all the time. The problem is the lack of reading comprehension skills in this country, right? Like most people can't read an article and just like break it down and consume the information, or go out and get the information themselves because they can't like comprehend or think things through, because our education system is a complete mess. And I know this because my wife was a teacher.
I have a very personal vendetta against this, and I've had it for a very long time.
If they keep everybody stupid and people aren't smart enough to do the research, it's how they get away with stuff like this.
Thing if you got it.
And the worst part is the people that act smart that like are the ones that fall for it. Like I don't know.
Man. It's your average Twitter user complaining about the group of people that.
Look, I don't know if this will get me in trouble around, but people like always call people with autism or in the spectrum or something like there's something wrong with them. I just think they're superior. I think they're the closest things we got to mutants. You know what I mean? But sometimes that genius, you get some gifts that make you look crazy. Like, it's hard for me to sit still. I hate being on camera. Like, I go through a lot of stuff, but I'm really smart. I'm really smart. If I was a little bit better at math, I could get a paper that certified me as a genius. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just not good at talking to people and everything. But if you look out throughout history and you learn about the people that actually changed this world, you'll start learning that a lot of them dealt with mental illness and everything and were considered crazy. Like Winston Churchill used to deal with bipolarism, right? He would lock himself in a room and he called it like his black dog. He had to hide from his black dog, and he would lock himself in a room. He made a deal with his wife where he would just cut off his lights and he would sit in a black room and drink some liquor all night and like just not do anything. And then he would wake up the next day like everything was normal, and he would go out there and help the free world win against the Germans. Like Alexander the Great and all them. I mean, yes, people with autism have quirks that make them not normal for regular society. But like, I think that if it wasn't for autistic people that thought outside of the normal means, and not even just autistic people or people on the spectrum, just anybody who thinks outside of the box, is like, you need people who question things, right? And that's what makes the stuff they do with like Star Wars so dangerous. Because without people questioning everything, we can go too far in one direction. And if you look throughout history, it ain't never ended up good.
They don't like that's responsible for every bad thing that's happened in their life that they are coincidentally not responsible for at all.
Though further investigation reveals that this is a pretty generic YouTube auto message, which has been used hundreds of... That's just because that'll help you sleep at night, right?
Well, it's very clear if you could tell whether it was a YouTube automated message, right? Because if it was an automated YouTube message, you could copy paste the message and then expect to see a copy paste of that message that's been repeated multiple times. But that's not what happened. So it's very obviously not a copy paste automated message, because all automated messages are written the same. Just by any sort of logical investigation, you would come to this conclusion instantaneously. That's a good looking dude. Yep.
Nothing.
And there's no evidence that YouTube took the quite elaborate movement seriously for more than a few minutes. They spent a full day, and then they got back to you and said that there's nothing that violates terms of service. More do you want? Why are you lying? Why are you always lying? Or did anything resembling investigation? How do you know? What are you, Team YouTube? Why don't you just tweet yourself, bro? It was likely just a bot scraping a video, and what video that even was isn't clear. Why are you making stuff up, bro? Just take the L, move on, write your other articles for Forbes.
I do think that Paul is he's not giving a very good analysis of what happened from YouTube. That this is correct. It's undeniable that this is not a good analysis if you don't take into consideration the fact that it was sent to YouTube and YouTube responded to it the day before. Yeah, it's not even a question.
Zach, yeah, hyper-focusing does come in handy. It's how I've been able to like do everything in life I do. My problem is I don't want to do anything, but if I can get hyper-focused on it, but as soon as that hyper-focus like wears off, I don't want to do it anymore. So like when I'm building my new business, I'm setting it up so I can just come up with like crazy props and everything. And then I'm trying to build a team where I can just move on to a next project. And like, that's the reason if you watch my content, like I just randomly switch, like I'll be covering Helldivers and go to something else and go to something else because I can't, like I just one thing to another constantly. I used to tell all the normies when I was growing up that if you could spend just like 5 minutes in my head, you would go insane because there's so much going through that thing at all times of day. They just put me on Adderall not too long ago, so it's been quite an adjustment. But man, like, I don't know if y'all ever seen Limitless, right? That allows me to lock in. I don't want to stay on it for long, though. I don't like using any type of medications, man-made medications for long. But I'm not against using them when you need them, right? So I have a lot going on. It helps me out. So it's a good balance, you know what I mean?
Making their company look more and more shitty, but hey, you're giving me something to talk about, so that's great. Thanks, pal. Maybe it's time I now turn the tide. That level of abruptness and lack of diligence is not very surprising. This guy is still going on his own lie. Bro, they took over a day. Get over it.
No.
Just some advice I've learned, Lone. It helps me out in conversations dealing with people, because if you're like me, you're always like they'll be telling a story or something, and like you'll already work out what they're going to say in your head, and you have already found like a story to compare it to because you want to seem like you're interested and relatable. Always ask somebody 2 questions about themselves or their story before you ask them or say something about yourself, and it will help you fit in more.
Lack of abruptness and due diligence.
I'm not saying you don't fit in or anything like that. It's just some helpful advice I've learned.
For subscribing. So this is, again, this is basically a, this is like kind of basically you create a narrative by saying that YouTube is.
Because you gotta be careful. Like, you won't realize it, but like to other people, normies, that's rude. And if you don't realize it, like, they'll think you're an asshole, and then you won't understand why. But most of the time, it's that. Just take some time, slow it down. Remember, they don't go as fast as we do.
Did it with a bot, and then the lack of diligence is not very surprising. Implies that there is a malpractice that's being done, right? That this is somehow like a wrongdoing that has happened. You see, this is a loaded phrase. And this is how it happens. It's a false narrative. Yes, exactly. And so, like, basically, you assert a possibility, and then you build a narrative based off of that possibility being true that causes readers to passively accept that the assertion that you made is the truth. That's how this works.
Move on. It's okay, Sally. Since this happened,
I mean, I'm kind of over this.
People moving on to comment on.
Like, it's just Asmon really getting caught up on what's going on. I'm already highly aware about this. No one probably really cares.
Being fired. This is nothing. Come on. Yeah, to the gulag. Yeah, exactly. Gerbil. Yeah, you could ask the guy I banned earlier. He knows all about him.
Scroll up, man, just to purport your narrative. That's ridiculous. That's not journalism. That's not seeing things from. You're just freaking obsessed, dude.
Well, and this is again another.
I don't know. I don't think they're obsessed. I really just think they're scared. Like, they're connected to the studios. They know what's going on. They're getting fed scoops. They know what ones of their friends have gotten fired from the gaming studios, the entertainment studios. Like, they're passing it off as the economy being rough, but let's be perfectly clear. That ain't gonna mess with the entertainment industry. Anybody that knows anything about history knows that there are 2 things that matter: bread and circuses. And as long as the circuses are going, everything's fine. I also don't think that it's a coincidence that our media has fallen to complete shit, and we haven't had a good, like, really good TV show since, like, I'd say 2016, being generous. That's the reason everyone's pissed off, right? We ain't got nothing to sit around and joke about that we can all agree. Like, hey, man, you catch that episode of Breaking Bad or The Sopranos or sitcoms are gone? I don't know. The circuses are not in a good shape right now. Let's see what else is on YouTube. That makes me mad. I like this guy. Have you guys seen him? Pirate Soft? I've been watching some of his stuff. I don't agree with him on everything, right? He seems like he's pretty liberal, but I don't care. I'm pretty much in the center. I don't like, man, like I ain't moved on the political spectrum, but the political spectrum has shifted over the last 20 years. It's insane.
That's where you like kind of started.
An actual hacker.
Like
Yes.
not like I'm a hacker. Not. I know in the hacking world, and so I'm
some stuff, and I got into the workforce. And then when I was at Blizzard,
Because from what I've seen, he used to be like head of security or something, I think, over at Blizzard. I think he was there at the same time I was testing. I was a lonely tester in the basement, though.
I found some vulnerabilities with some of the websites while I was in quality assurance, right? And I took this to BattleNet, which, as BattleNet at the time was controlling all of web. I don't know if they split off.
What year
BattleNet
was this? Early 2000?
I don't even remember. It had to be, no, because it was probably 2017.
Oh,
somewhere.
Like, I've worked off and on in the gaming industry. I helped esports grow and all that, but like I never wanted to move to California. So if it wasn't remote, I just did environmental and stuff.
There, 2018. Because I went back to Blizzard in 2016, I think it was. Oh, no, wait, no, I left Blizzard in 2016. I went back to Blizzard in 2009. That's what it was.
2009. I think that's around the time I was there. I was working on World at War. I worked on World at War, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. The James Bond game that came out, I did the Korean testing on that. Guitar Hero. I think it was World Tour, Metallica, Guns N' Roses.
So I went back to Blizzard in 2009. I think it was probably 2013, 2014. Now that I think about it, I think it was sometime in there.
Like, if you're in gaming, I've probably, like, especially in Call of Duty and everything, like, you've probably seen my work. I hate being on camera. I just don't care anymore. So I always stayed behind the scenes.
And then I basically took all this stuff to BattleNet, and I was like, yo, there's all.
Oh man, Web of Shadows. I was a sprinter on that game. So what a sprinter was back before good old internet and cloud saves. We used to have these things called memory cards, and we'd have to test the progression of the game from start to finish to make sure that the game could be completed, right, with no game-breaking bugs. That was like one of the qualifications or something they needed for certification. So my job was like, it was like Monday and Wednesday, we would get a new build of the game from the developers. So I worked at when I worked at Neversoft, like we'd get builds more frequent, and then they'd send a build over to Activision where they had their own testers work on it. So we get our new builds Tuesday and Wednesday, but then I'd have to go through and beat the game as quick as possible and save at the start of every level in the game. And then, so I was good. I could beat Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Can't remember. It was like 4 hours. Call of Duty World at War, I think I could beat in it was like 2.5, 3 hours. There was a part with the airplane where you couldn't bypass it, and that slowed you down. But you didn't have to do anything. So I'd write down bugs I seen from the other levels, and then I'd have bugs for the rest of the week because they just wanted you to get 10 bugs a day, right? Like if you got 10 bugs a day, you were good. So what I'd do is, since I played the game first, when the loading screens would come on, I don't know if you guys remember how long loading screens were, but I had a notebook and I'd write down all of the bugs I'd see when I went through the level. So I got to play all of the levels first. I just had to beat it as quick as possible. And then I just go through my notes and then I'd put down 15 bugs a day just so I was 5 over what they wanted. But I'd have like 50 or 60 I'd sit on. And then we had a system, like back then we had VCRs hooked up to the caption cards. So you had to record it on a VCR and then transfer video over to the computer, and then we had a system that you had to put the clip in and do reproduction. I don't know. I was a good tester. They went through multiple rounds. I'd got in trouble, man. Back when MLG used to do their tournaments and everything, I was a pro player for Call of Duty 4, and then I worked for Activision, so I couldn't compete in the leagues, but I still was around on the game battle forums and everything. That's how I got into esports media. But I had said something on the forums about the bodies blowing up in the game, and somebody was like, does this happen in multiplayer? And I was like, yeah, people aren't talking about it. Or I was like, yeah, people blow up in multiplayer. You can turn it off or disable it. I didn't think it was a big deal. I got to work on Monday and they were like, DJ, I need you in my office. And this was like the head guy. He was like the head guy at Activision. We were all temps. Then our head guys were like the project leads or whatever. They worked for Activision and they all worked for him. And they called me into the office and it was like all of the legal, right? Like there was a lot of lawyers in this room and they pulled out papers like of my account, my address on the account, my IP address and everything. And then on the top, they said, is this you? And I looked at them. I said, yep, it sure is. I was like, what did I do wrong? And they were like, technically nothing, but we'd like you to take this post down because we don't want to talk about that part of the game. It was something like that. And I looked at them. I said, you have a computer right there. Can I access it real quick? And they said, yes. And I sat there and I deleted the message and deleted that account. And I was like, is there anything else? They all stood up, left the room. And then the guy looked at me and he was like, I'm so glad you did that. He was like, because I really like you. You're one of the best testers we had. And that would have went a lot differently. So that was wild. After that, I didn't say anything.
These vulnerabilities is really bad. And the head of BattleNet at the time was Ali Vitani. And he was like, this is really awesome. Thank you for bringing this to me. And I kept doing that for like months. And then I had a buddy in there, Brett, and we were both just hammering the shit out of Blizzard's websites and just finding tons of vulns because they didn't have a security team. So eventually I wrote this 13-page document. I brought it to Ali Vitani. I was like, hey, you should make this team. This is the application security team. It's specifically for
hey, thanks for those subs, guys.
And he said, thank you for this. I could have gotten fired right there. There's like a whole culture of like, don't break ranks. You know, it's like a really dangerous.
Oh yeah, man. It was such a chore back then, but dude, it was a blast. Like working at the game, like when we worked at Neversoft, it was like the studio that used to make the Tony Hawk games, and then like Activision bought them and they were like, Tony Hawk sucks, you need to make Guitar Hero. And like they started making the Guitar Hero games, but they had like the old half plate in there. And they'd have like free food, drinks, anything you want. Where we would test at, there was like a big curtain. And on the other side of the stage, it was a stage. And they'd bring in all the bands for the video game to do mocap in. And they would be like performing and everything to do the mocap for the Guitar Hero game. We couldn't see them or anything, but like it was just a black curtain. And then on the other side, like Blink 182 and everything playing. The rule was you couldn't talk to them because like the break room was in the same area. The rule was we couldn't talk to them unless they talked to us first. So you couldn't just go up and like bug people and ask for autographs and everything. But if they talked to you, you were able to talk to them, but they didn't want you asking for autographs. I don't like the Metallica guy because that guy was a dick. My buddy was a huge Metallica fan. And he always wore Metallica shirts and everything. And he found out Metallica guys were going to be in there. And they came in. And it's that one guy that always has the bad press about him. Everybody says he's an asshole. Well, he is an asshole. Like, we were outside smoking. And he came out and bummed a cigarette off my buddy. My buddy's wearing a Metallica shirt. And he was like, hey, man. Like, can I get an autograph? Like, I know we're not supposed to ask, but you're like, I'm a huge fan. And that dude, while he was smoking a cigarette, he bummed from him, said, didn't they say you're not allowed to talk to us? And I was like, holy shit. And since then, I ain't listening to any Metallica.
Thing, like, don't do it. It was very military kind of culture. And 2 weeks later, he contacted me.
Hold up. It's not the lead singer. It's not James. Metallica. I don't even spell it right. I can't spell. Yeah, it's that dude. Yeah, it's that dude.
All right, so this is how TikTok limits free speech. This is their shadow banning.
middle of a task, and he goes, "Hey, you should really check out this job." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I wasn't
have to
ever
do
a
this task
fan.
right now. I was like, "No, you should
Like,
really
I
check
damn
this
sure
out because
wasn't
this
after
is
that.
the one that I built the team for." And I
Ooh.
applied to be a lead, got the position, and then built my team on that. And I was the lead of application security for Blizzard. And then we went to DEF CON because of that. The business actually paid for us to go to DEF CON, which is a hacking convention.
Yeah.
And at DEF CON 22, I didn't win. I went there and I competed in a cryptographic challenge and I lost, but we learned so much. And then I went back home and I made a bunch of crypto puzzles, which are not cryptocurrency. It's ciphers and cryptography, right? So like steganography and all that kind of cool shit. Learned a ton about this. Went back home, hammered it for a whole year, and then went back to DEF CON the next year and won. And when I got my first black badge, it was like, hey, that's kind of cool, man. Like, because it's like the gold in the Hacker Olympics, right? And they're like, hey, that's pretty neat. And then I went and did it again the next year. And then people were like, wait a minute. And then the next year, the crypto challenge wasn't on this, and then I went to the government.
Working for the
Work-wise.
government, is that the type of like you're on call 24 hours a day? If you get a call,
Yes.
you got to go? Okay.
Yes. So my
Yeah.
my obligation was to work on site 10 weeks a year, and the rest of the year I was fully on call to do
Yeah.
whatever. And that was drop of a hat. You were leaving on a plane tomorrow to fly to some state to test a thing, right? And
Yeah.
my general wheelhouse control is physical access control systems, so breaking and entering, Wi-Fi related vulnerabilities, web related vulnerabilities, and social engineering. So those were my primaries when we were on.
I know a couple people that he was, when he says hacker for the government, he was working with the CIA.
Those tasks, and they just fly us to a site, hack the site, write a report, go home, right? And I had to wear a suit the whole time, and they made me cut my hair, which was weird.
You hacked
Yeah.
in a suit?
Wait.
Yeah, suit and tie.
That's very hollow.
So he is a Fed, just ahead. Like, Piratesoft's cool from everything I've seen, but just like, he's a Fed. Just be very aware of that.
Hollywood, dude.
That is.
Shit was weird,
that
dude.
is super
It was
Hollywood.
weird.
I kind of
Yeah, I
like
hate
that
it.
though, that they made you wear a suit.
That's yeah. I like.
They,
I can.
they
That,
made me wear a suit, and they lied to me too. They told me I had to cut my hair, and I was like, why do I have to cut my hair? And my boss lied to me. He goes, oh, because you'll be around turbines, and your hair could get stuck in it. And I was like, I don't know shit. Maybe that's true. He's full of shit. I never saw a turbine in the whole damn time I was there, man. It's a
That's
complete
great, dude.
lie. It's just
can
some
you
government shit.
imagine working at one of
Sucked.
these power plants and you see a dude walk in a suit with probably? Did you ever?
Oh, he was going and doing cybersecurity testing at what's it called? Yeah, he's 100% was working for the CIA, brothers. You guys been playing any Deadlock? And speaking of CIA,
Jane Smith is sitting on a Lufthansa.
this is where
machine
pirates
bound
are
to Frankfurt,
worked.
Germany. She empties her second glass of red wine and fastens her seatbelt because the plane is about to land. When Jane exits the aircraft, she goes straight. It's October 2015.
Is this
A
about?
chilly
Is that about him? No.
of retired agents. It was in a spy unit of or ad animations to know about life as a secret agent, ordinary soldiers.
Now he probably didn't go through the secret agent training, right? Where's my subs at? I don't know how to browse YouTube on here. What's old Galactic Armory up to? I really like Galactic Armory's work. God, I hope one day. Well, I hope I can work with Galactic Armory.
Any detail sanders, and the X1 carbon bamboo printers are absolutely amazing.
He's a big, huge inspiration for me.
I only wish they
He's
had
been in the grind for a while.
Master Chief here was printed in 3 main pieces with a bunch of little extras on that printer. And
I'm thinking about taking a helmet, right? And I got my Quest 3, right? And I'm thinking about making like a helmet to wear, but like molding the Quest into it. Because I can play with a heads up. Like I can play, like it would just look like a big screen in here, right? And y'all would see it. But like I don't know how I'd be chat, but I think it'd be cool because then like I don't know. I'm thinking about a cool outfit, like sci-fi outfit for when we're doing like the game stuff. What's his buddy's name? This dude really works good. That's a good. I like his apron. Hold up.
you've been in this fight since.
Look, come on, Galactic Armory. We know who did all the work on this helmet. Look, Look at them aprons. Can't fool me. His buddy does really good work, though.
Talk about is the key that's at the back.
It's a little X that, this back piece is a little bit too big for a Bamboo Lab printer to fit in one piece. So we offered it cut in half with a little alignment tab in the center.
Yeah, it's curved and it is specifically designed that will go one specific.
See, I need to start doing that. That's one of my problems, like the acetate and then the spray foam. Or for the glue to set it quicker. What's going on in the gaming news? Where's my games? How do I want to see like all the trailers coming out. What's IGN talking about? Video. Oh, have you seen how bad this looks? Oh, sorry, I ain't been reading chat. Yeah, I'm fine with that rule, but if you talk to us, you're a dick. I've been wanting to play Gundam Breaker, but I'm a little tight on money running this business. Like, we're doing fine. It's just, I ain't got a lot to blow. And if I can't make content out of it right now, I can't really play it. This, though, how much you want to bet that they give this game a higher rating than Space Marine 2? Who is this game for? Like, who's making this game? Tales of the Shire. Who is this made from? Tales of the Shire. This is what you, like, I can't give financial advice, but like once I got some disposable income, all right, this is a private division game, right? That's Microsoft? What else they got coming out? That looks like crap. Kerbal is probably not going to finish. Yeah, they're not doing good, right? None of these games are selling. Oh no, they tied up in my baby Outer World. Okay, they got to be Microsoft though, right? You guys know? Oh, let me talk about, give me a second to get over to Dragon Age. You want to talk about Dragon Age? We'll talk about Dragon Age. About us. Blah, 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 Xbox. Are they independent? I don't want to share my chat GPT logs. Division. Okay, Take-Two. Private divisions owned by Take-Two. Take-Two. Stock. Is it Take-Two or Take-Two? Take-Two. All right, they stock's already down, boys, right? Let's look at the 5-month. 6 year. All right, they on a decline. When's this game come out? Tales of the Shire. When's this game's release date? Right. March 25th, 2005? That can't be right. Oh, that's even better. Yeah, okay. So, what we figuring? A couple $1 million to make this game? How long's it been in development? Because you can start doing the math, right? This is good. Because what I'm getting at here is, like, this number right here on March 22nd, whatever it is, it's going to drop. Like, hypothetically, like think about how many people are going to buy that game and what that number is going to do. And if I had disposable income, I would be like looking at puts. You know what I mean? Like starting making a little bit of money off these failures. Because this, I don't know who the hell is going to play. What? Have y'all seen that? Hold up, though. But then on the other hand, right? We got this.
Misty mountains, Middle Earth. The fourth age of this world.
I want to play this. It's on my list. Like, I'm waiting for it to be on Game Pass or something. You know what I mean?
Have delved under the mountains since the first age. Mining.
That's all I want to do.
And carving art.
I want to mine. I yearn for the mines, ladies and gentlemen. Let me be a dwarf in the mines.
A dwarf's only real passion is for battle.
Let's look at, hold on. What does that beard bling look like?
And for battle and treasure. A rather unfair, I'd say, dwarf's only real passion.
Look at that beards. Look at those beards.
By some that a dwarf's only.
Look at that. That's all I want, boys. The mines. What do they say? The dwarf's only real passion is battle and treasure. What do y'all kids say today? Based.
Real passion is for battle and treasure. A rather unfair, I'd say, elven observation, as we also hold our food and ale dear.
All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost.
Our reputation.
Good video game, right? Right. Good video game. They got it. They understood what they had to do, right? Whoever designed this, did anybody ask them if they played video games or any of the like other Lord of the Rings games? I don't know, some food for thought. What else we got? I have started this. This is pretty fun. But I'm pretty sure I'll lose interest, like, in, like, another 2 or 3 hours. You, like, get to build the city, right? And then, like, you make choices, and it's more like, I don't know, it's not like a regular city builder game. It's more like you're just influencing the city's like culture and stuff. So I don't know. It ain't gonna go good. I already got my people on like extended shifts. Like they were like, we need food for the winter. We ain't got enough plants. And I was like, well, I guess we all going on extra shifts. And they already got mad at me. But I'm not a leader. I'm a warrior. I need a leader to follow, and we ain't got any leaders anymore. This looks good.
You've been waiting for this moment.
Challenge accepted.
I'll put you out of your mission. Don't you dare! No more holding back! You're dealing with the proud prince.
And look, I don't like stay in the Dragon Ball Z community. Like, I love Dragon Ball Z. I've taken my daughter to see every one of the Dragon Ball Z Super movies. I mean, personally, I think Super was a little drawn out. Like it just cracks me up because they're like 15 minutes to go, and then there was like 7-8 hours left of episodes. But other than that, I like Super.
Of all Saiyans, I will defeat you this day.
The time is now.
Like, is it just a fighting game, though? The Buka series or whatever, it's just fighting, right? I liked the other one where you could make your character and it was a little more like you were in Dragon Ball, because I've killed Frieza so many times now. Anything from Starship Troopers? I need to contact them. I think this game's going to do good. Wait. Whoa, what did I do? Wait. Oh, shit. F11. Wait. Starship Troopers Extermination. Drewski played it a year ago. I like Drewski. I'm not on the fence with him. I've watched most of these. This is their channel. Wait, I think I've seen this one.
Hi, I'm Chaz Barker. I'm the lead game designer of Starship Troopers Extermination. Let me tell you about something we're introducing to the game. It's this monstrosity of a tank, but in bug shape. It's called the Tanker Bug. It has a suite of different...
Like, I want to work on this game, but it's weird, right? Like I said earlier, if you work with these studios and everything, then like they want you to be, if you say something, they're going to get mad at you if you don't like something. And I'd rather just be honest and unassociated with them.
Moves that it's going to ruin your day with. We're trying to make the Tanker Bug experience as close to the movie as possible.
That thing is massive.
Damage as possible before he probably gets mad at you.
I'm Tamiris Barat, aka Tammy. I'm the lead environment artist on Starship Troopers Extermination. Boreas. This is an icy planet that has been infected by a bug meteor. The bugs have had time to mutate and evolve within that frosty environment. That's where our players are going to be able to encounter the frost drone and the frost.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
So we're very excited to introduce this new biome to you guys, and we really hope that you guys enjoy it.
I'm Peter Maurice, project lead for Starship Troopers Extermination. Our goal for single player is to introduce a new way to progress your character and prepare you for 16-player.
Look, Johnny Rico's been streaming.
Was bringing General Rico in. He's now in charge.
What's his name? Casper Van Dien? I don't know. I suck with names.
The best from all military.
Hold on. Casper Van Dien. Hold up. Wait. What? Where's his Where's his videos? What? Where did I see this? Starship Troopers Extermination. Like, how do I find their channel? Hold up. I'm gonna start playing on Twitter more. Look, I got a video up.
Just changed Star Wars forever, and I don't think people have really realized it yet. I mean, just think about it. It is no longer the Star Wars galaxy. It is the Star Wars universe. I mean, in the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka, we just learned that Thrawn and Ezra weren't lost in the unknown regions. They were actually in a different galaxy far, far away. Or is it further and away? I don't know, but it is a whole new galaxy with all new stories, all new...
Oh, Disney. What am I looking for? Wait, I seen it. Did they do it on their stream?
To be dealt with. We need you, War Daddy. Sir Shrimp, 5934. Ben Dean's energy and love for the fan base is awesome. The GOAT.
He's so much better than Mark Hamill. You know what I mean? so much more enjoyable of a person. I'm telling you. He streamed. He pulled it down, though. Everything's off and hidden. It was funny. I don't know. It was funny. It was funny watching him streaming a video game if you grew up with Starship Troopers. Also, he needs somebody with him that like role play. Have you guys seen this?
Hi, I'm Peter Maurice. I'm the project lead for Starship Troopers Extermination. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the exciting new update coming to the game called Carnage on Planet X11. The Carnage system itself...
Oh, this game is so good, guys. It's in early access now. Like, they just added this update.
Bringing the movie into the video game. Being able to climb on top of the bug piles to get the best vantage point over the bugs. It's a system that we've developed in-house from the ground up. It's really all about bringing Carnage and the war to the bugs and being able to show the persistent damage throughout the world. I'm so excited to share with
And I respect your opinion, Zach. We just disagree on that one.
Tibannus system in the arachnid quarantine zone. We're setting this planet within the rings of a gas giant. It's draped in mystery. We are going there to defend the T-Fang array. It's the most important listing post in the Federation, and it's crucial to Federation operations that we secure it. Planet X11 is our first attempt in Starship Troopers to combine indoor to bring into the game. It's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, don't worry. A lot of y'all don't know about this game, but I do. I played it when it came out last year. I loved it. It's just there wasn't enough content. If they fixed it, it already looks way better than this. They've added a new Galactic War mode that's coming in their 1.0 map. Or I don't know if it's coming out. It's coming before the end of the year. Like a Galactic War, like Helldivers, where you'll go to different planets and fight the bugs, and a leveling system. And hey, I don't have to tell y'all. Hold up. Who is Brother Mooch? I got a lot of people on Fortnite that always hit me up because I got some limited Fortnite skeleton skin, and they're like, you can sell it for a couple $1,000s, and I just think it's funny because I don't even know what it is. You know what I mean? Wait, wrong game. Wait. Why did I uninstall it? What did I install? Huh? Oh, Age of Mythology. I forgot. And Frostpunk 2. I don't have much hard drive space. I don't think I can play it, guys. It's downloading slow. We'll leave it running in the background. Exactly. Kate. Exactly. Like, I don't care about his person or like his political opinions. That's on him. You know what I mean? But charging like $400 for a basic autograph is like extortion. What is this? Oh, it's not American. It has a chance to be good. What is this? Crimson Desert. Wait. Black Desert's the MMO, right? Oh, this is that single player MMO game, I think. I mean, this looks good. The cities look good. The skyboxes ain't the best. Like, I'm starting to get worried. Like, do people not realize how like real landscape works anymore? I can't be the only one that noticed that. Like, some of the like layouts and stuff is just weird. Like, it never happened in nature. There was one clip that looked really weird in this. I think I've seen this. He was like, or seen a clip of this. This right here? No.
Is this the place written on the invitation?
This. Like the flat nothingness. I don't know. I ain't never been anywhere that flat. Even in the desert.
Russo's here too.
Where's the combat? Okay.
What reason have you to refuse my challenge?
None that I can think of.
Ah, so it's true. Greymanes never run from a fight. I've heard the lengths you'll go for the sake of your mission.
I ain't even playing this game. I already want to smack that dude.
Fragments that fall from the sky. Is that right?
Punch him in the helmet. You know what I mean? Cave it in.
Oh, man. Curiosity.
Right there. Ninja blade out. Into his gut.
No further destruction. I assure you. Do your worst, Greymane.
I mean, combat looks okay. I want to see like, is it just going to be like Dark Souls where you're just doing like 1 or 2 people at a time, or am I fighting battles? You know what I mean?
Sounds like a merchant I know.
Well, I'm glad I'm guiding the right person.
Or is it just going to be like a Witcher game? Combat looks fun. There's no, he didn't have a finisher animation on that guy.
Publicly.
Yeah, this looks fun. You got any AoE damage to hit these guys with? Do we got any? Yeah, hit them with some magic. It's Crimson Desert speak. Yeah, it looks more like Witcher. It's a smart play because no one else is like doing games like that. I don't even want to look at Dragon Age. What is YouTube Playables? Airsoft and amusement park? That'd be fun. What's with Dark Tide?
Greetings, rejects. I'm Alex Jordan, voice of the professional. I'm also a level 30 vet myself, which is why I'm excited about the huge...
I'm gonna go back and play the shit out of Dark Tide.
It all begins with mastery. Purge the heretics with your weapon of choice, and over time, you'll master that weapon family. Mastery gives you access to blessings, marks, and perks, and gives your enemies a really, really bad day. The power menu is where you configure your weapon. Make it yours. Pick your blessings, pick your perks, and those pesky locks, consider them picked too. Got a soft spot for that one shovel. Now you
I want to shovel people in the face.
Max stats, a glimpse at its future potential, so you know where all your hard work's going. What a beauty. The Emperor would be proud. The itemization overhaul is part of the Unlocked and Loaded update coming to Dark Tide in September.
That looks cool. I don't know. I'm zoning out. I'm gonna get something to eat and go to bed.